o'clock, we'll go ahead and start the Police and Fire Committee meeting. I only have 2 items to bring up tonight. And actually, I'm going to defer to Chief Barber here in a minute. I was hoping to get an update on the canine acquisition that we're looking at. If Chief Tolliver can give us an update on that. My understanding is we've been given an offer by the Meigs County Sheriff to purchase the current dog. And with those proceeds, we'll purchase a new dog and train a new officer. As soon as I get the details on that, we'll bring that to the next council meeting, and whatever we have to do to make that happen, we'll go ahead and make that work. The only other item I was concerned about tonight was the status of our main fire engine and the repair. Can you just give me a real quick down and dirty where we're at?
So, been keeping in contact with Cummins every day up until yesterday. And yesterday evening, I went to Hilliard and picked the truck up with one of my firefighters, and it's back in service now.
Oh, is that it parked up there?
Yes, they worked very diligently and moved us to the top of the schedule because it's a fire apparatus, and so far everything's good. I don't have the final paperwork yet, but
how close to the original quote was it?
everything that they said they were going to do, they did.
Okay.
So we should be really close. We should be right there.
Good.
It's got a 3-year warranty on it. 3 years or 150,000 miles. So it's a fire apparatus, so obviously it's going to be 3 years. The only thing I was going to bring up tonight is one, we still need the Civil Service Commission to get some testing dates together for us and PD both.
Right.
I ended up pulling some of my previous part-time firefighters up that were on my volunteer roster to cover shifts on a temporary basis because we had so many openings.
How many full-time positions are open right now?
We just filled that full-time position the last council meeting with one of my part-timers.
Okay.
So that leaves 4 part-time positions open. And one of my part-timers is in the process of stepping down, and another one of my part-timers is likely moving out of the state.
So potentially 6 open part-time positions are coming up.
You know, we can pull people up on a temporary basis. I don't like to do that because I don't like to rely on trying to get a test date established within that 6-month period. Right now, we do have those temporary positions right now.
Okay.
But as soon as we get a civil service date, I can post that. We can get the advertisement out. We can also extend that date past the 6-month period only if we have a date for a test that's already scheduled.
Okay.
So we can't extend the 6-month period if we do not have a test date established and advertised.
Do either you or Tony have an update on how close we are to filling the civil service?
It is filled.
It is.
Oh,
Yes.
great. So the Tingle was appointed to the open position.
Now,
Correct, the rule on that. We did it at a meeting, didn't we? Like 2 meetings ago? Okay, maybe. I'm pretty sure we did. Okay. Because I got her letter. I'm positive we did.
now the Civil Service Commission has 3 members, but they can still perform the function and actually proctor the test with 2 members. For those that don't know, the code enforcement / administrative assistant position or assistant to city manager position is a treasurer for the Civil Service Commission. So that is usually the person that directs the civil service members to get a test date in order or to order tests for the police or fire departments. I agree.
So we just need to coordinate getting a test date established. And
Yeah.
Who's going to do that?
Usually the Civil Service Commission will amongst themselves come up with a few dates.
Okay.
3 months out. Usually if that's about the time frame, we need to stay close to whatever date I need and whatever date Chief Tolliver needs though,
I'll
because
follow up with you.
I don't know how long have you had temporary noise on? Less than a month.
I believe now they can even do the testing online. Can be proctored either in person with them, with us, or online. Might have some more options to make it a little more flexible to get it scheduled faster.
So I know, so it sounds like he's good on a date, and if we get something, you know, like 3 months. Like, that'll give us enough time to post it online. And also, if it did get past the 6 months, we could extend it because we have that scheduled date posted.
Okay.
That way, nobody gets a position by default.
Any other urgent matters we need to be aware of?
No, we talked, you and I talked a couple council meetings ago, and I'm still working on triaging, 3 different things that we need. And I'm working on getting that to make that proposal.
Okay, great. Chief Tolliver, I'm gonna circle back to you now. I mentioned something about the status of our canine procurement plan. If you can fill in the details on that.
So I don't know if Steve has acquired the dog yet or not, but we've paid him in full to go pick out a dog and bring it back, and that will also include the training in his March class for the handling of the dog.
How are we doing on staffing, other than the chief position?
We're still down 3 officers.
And do we have any applications pending?
We have a single application with any auto certifications.
All right, in 5 minutes, tell me your top 3 concerns for the department.
Manning, obviously, number 1. Second's gonna be getting some new equipment in regards to people's like personal issue items.
Okay.
Our budget is already low for that due to the bills not being paid last year and having to come out of this year's budget.
And this equipment above and beyond the uniform would include things such as?
So for new officers, we're gonna need to get vests, that kind of thing.
Can you, sometime later this week, give me a line item? What we can do for the budget to make that work? Equipment, manning, what else?
I think that's about all right now.
I'm sorry, did you say that the bill was not paid last year?
Yes,
What
How much
bill
was it?
it was about $4,000.
for,
Uniforms and basic duty gear.
Was there any specific reason for that?
Not that I'm aware of.
didn't you find some radios too?
Radios had already been paid for since like 2021, that have been at B&C Communications.
So those will be in the cars?
Were there late fees associated with the outstanding invoices?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So the carryover from last year, is that in the budget for this year? Was that discussed?
I don't believe it was planned for, but informal.
We'll have to check with Bob. I wonder if we can use some of the mayor's court funds that come into the mayor's court funding to help possibly offset some of the costs due to that.
That goes into the general fund, correct?
Yes, should be a transfer right into the general fund. So, might want to look into that possibly, maybe. Since the mayor's court clerk is now up to speed and we had our first mayor's court the other night. And she did very well with it. So other than that, I mean, that's something that could maybe offset some of that.
Nick,
Nothing else from me?
Greg?
Do you know offhand when the deadline for the Hocking College dispatch is? What the agreement was
I
on
do
that?
not know.
Expires at the end of the year, I believe.
It did? So it's been renewed?
It was renewed
Okay,
last year for this year.
at the same price?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I had.
City manager, any questions for the committee? Any information we need to be aware of?
No, they pretty well covered it.
There is one question. So the former chief of police had maintained a pretty good rapport with Bookdole as part of our, coverage and services there. Have you been able to maintain contact with folks over there? Has that been going okay?
Yeah, I've been attending their council meetings as well and giving them input on things like can and can't do, things we can help them enforce and that kind of thing.
Great.
I guess I would add, we just met with Nelsonville, York superintendent this morning. He did talk about the school resource officer, that's going really well. And they would like to continue that and start talking about renewal for next year.
Good. If there is no other business to be brought before the committee, I will go ahead and adjourn pending the next committee, whoever's on deck next.
Please, Parks and Rec,
Parks and Rec.
6:20, we got 10 minutes.